Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're listening to the BrinkCast. This is episode 12. Tom Brady, one of the greatest number 12s probably to walk this earth, in my humble opinion, and I'm not even a Patriots fan. Episode 12. As always, I'm only one half of this program. With me is my father, Jay Brinkworth. How you doing, my man?
All good. I made some notes on some famous number 12s as well.
Who you got?
I've got Roberto Alomar from back in the Toronto Blue Jays back in the 90s.
Yes, sir. Baby
I've
Blues.
got Jerome McGinley.
Jerome, yep.
Yeah.
He
Great
might
hockey player.
He might be my GOAT number 12, actually. I can't believe I didn't think of him.
Yeah, he's really good. And I've also got, from back in the day with the Boston Red Sox, my favorite third baseman on the team, other than Alex Bregman right now, but Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs.
Yeah, number 12. But those are some good number 12s. Yeah, I think Brady will be the first number 12, first to mind for a lot of people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what happens when you got 7 championships or whatever he's got.
I guess so. But yeah, all good here, my man. All good here.
That's great.
You look good. You look rested.
Yeah, I do feel rested, actually. It's been nice. We got back from our family adventure to Vancouver this week and had some nice sleeps in our own bed, which are key after a vacation when you're sleeping on someone else's bed. Yeah. And it's been good. It's been fun getting back into our routine, and weather's looking up, and I don't know. I got a lot to chat about, though. It's been a crazy week, and we got an 8-month-old who's speaking now a little bit, which is unbelievable and
the best. Brand new news as of today.
Yeah, I guess so. We really tried to make sure that the first word was mama, but unfortunately, dada came out first. And
I think it's been proven that actually is like the sound that they will make first.
Yeah.
Yay, dads.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes.
We'll take it.
It's the one we'll get.
Yeah.
It's the one we'll get. Yeah, but since we talked last time, you have had the busiest schedule ever.
It was
way to go.
It was good. Yeah, we went to Vancouver. I mentioned it a couple times previously, and just a little getaway. First trip flying with the girl. Didn't want to make it a humongous travel day for anyone. So thought a nice short trip to Vancouver would be a good starting point. And we had some friends there that we wanted to visit and check out a Canucks game, and it was ton of fun, and she did so well through it all, and I'm pretty proud of my wife and myself, the way we kind of handled it, and we crossed that one off the list. We got number 1 out of the way, so it's just going to open it up to more travel adventures with the crew.
Yes, absolutely, as it should be, right? You guys love traveling and seeing things, and she should be part of the plan.
That's right.
Yeah, part of the adventures.
She proved that she could hang with us, so I think we got a lifelong travel buddy, or as long as she'll go on trips with us, I guess.
Lifelong, exactly. You'll be begging her to go on trips later in life, like I would have to do with you now. Now it'd be like, hey, can I come along?
Nah, you wouldn't have to.
Yeah,
twist
and you'd be like, I don't think so.
We'll
that's funny.
How it all shakes out, but it was great trip. Obviously, a lot of stress leading up to it and uncertainty, but I guess it all started with my wife. Obviously, took care of a large amount of the prep and the packing last week before we left, and it's incredible what our luggage situation looks like now, even just for 4-day trip to Vancouver. But I honestly thought we might have been a little overpacked, but I don't think we were. We kind of needed everything we had with us. We had 2 suitcases, 2 large suitcases we checked, 2 backpacks, a stroller, and just another shoulder strap bag. And that had our essentials and a couple, treats for Scotty to keep her occupied. And it was a bit of a grind getting all of that luggage to our Airbnb and then back to the airport, but we made out great.
Wow. And, it sounds like you're playing a band or something, moving all that stuff around.
Yeah, I felt like.
Was that the first time having to take stuff to oversize at the airport? Because you had to drop the stroller, the oversized thing. No,
we didn't. We didn't, Dad. This is the thing about traveling in 2025 with a baby girl. Jess, my wife, found a unbelievable fold-up stroller that folds up to basically a laptop case.
What?
And it pops up super easy, and I wasn't sure about it because it seemed a little too good to be true, but man, that thing saved us some money, obviously, and
no doubt
saved our backs a little bit when we were running through the airports. But so we had that. We popped that up in the what do you call that? The carry-on compartments on the plane.
Yeah, just the overhead bin. Yeah.
And then
man, that's incredible.
Backpacks as personal items, and
jeez,
made it work. But it was nice to have that, and I'm sure that I've seen some parents in airports, lugging a lot more heavier looking strollers around, and that was always my kind of thought was, how are we going to make this work? But we made it work, much to the credit of Jessica. Yes,
good for her. Well, it wasn't that long ago, Coop was, we were doing the same thing with Coop traveling, and there was a lot more stuff. Right. Like everything was a lot bigger, and it was more of an event.
Serial overpacker too, and I'm not afraid to admit that. But I don't understand what's wrong with me.
It's again, it might be something from me. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I have some sort of disorder because I cannot not just stuff my suitcase with every piece of clothing I may possibly need.
Yeah, that's a me thing. I'll tell you about it.
So this time I got a little bit better, a little bit smarter out of necessity, and worked out great. So
good for you.
Yeah, that's a huge problem of mine though, is constantly overpacking anywhere we go. I don't know why.
Well, it's a fear of just running out of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a fear of just, do I have enough socks? Well, I'm going for 2 nights. Of course I need 6 pair. Like, how would you, like, what if one pair gets wet and then another pair gets lost?
Yeah.
And
these are the things that cause us to do this. But in 2025, I think it's pretty easy to track down a washing machine if something were to go.
Oh my goodness.
Completely sideways and you needed a couple pairs of underwear or something, but
it's true.
Yeah. So the large amount of this stuff was Scotty's. We put a whole playpen in the one suitcase, folded up just small enough to fit in there, and which
you
was
guys
huge,
are unbelievable.
And so we made it work. But we were traveling heavy over the weekend. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was just not sure what to expect and not sure how the plane was going to affect her and if she'd be able to sleep, was she going to, still take a
turbulence
on the plane, the turbulence.
Oh yeah.
Try not to, but obviously.
Does it throw off their sleep schedule?
Yeah. Sleep schedule, disturbing other passengers, but I feel like that was the bottom of my list of worries, but it was still on there.
It's sure. There. It's on the list, of course.
Would hate to ruin someone's day if they don't get their nap in or whatever, but after you do it kind of once, it's all good. You just realize how much empathy people have for you as a parent traveling, and there's so many babies that travel now, and it's just, it is what it is. I was overthinking it yet again, and it all worked out great. But
well, you have to realize too, when you're traveling, when I'm traveling often and I'm traveling alone, I really make sure that I am a dad and I understand all that. But people on the plane don't see that; they just see this solo person there, so they could be thinking, man, this guy could be hating this at 6 a.m. and, this is a total inconvenience and whatever. And it's like, no, I get it. I've been there. So a lot of people on that flight, they're there. They're doing that thing, but you don't realize.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And then all of a sudden they're chatting with her and smiling, and it's like, hey, it's a good time.
Yeah, she had half the plane looking at her, and
of course she did.
She was, laughing at everyone, just loved seeing all the new faces and everything. So it was,
well, and her doing that could change someone's day. Someone could be having a terrible day, and all of a sudden she's like, 5 minutes of that and completely changes your whole attitude and demeanor, right?
Yeah. No, you're right. I never thought about that either. But
yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. So the first flight, she was surprisingly good. Tried to time out the feedings for the takeoff and the arrival, and nailed the first one. And she ended up having a bit of a nap, and it was a quick, like, hour 15-minute flight to Calgary from Regina. And so that was super smooth, and we got through that one. Then we got on the second flight, and she took the bottle, but timing was a little off because she just hammered it before we got off the ground once we started giving it to her.
Yeah.
And then wouldn't sleep on that second flight. So we thought for sure we were going to be in for a little bit of a grumpy gal, but it was so funny. We were sitting beside, I was in the middle seat and Jess had the aisle seat, and there's another older guy sitting to my right, and he was watching a movie on his iPhone, but he had the iPhone placed in the little compartment on the back of the seat in front of him. And once Scotty saw that phone and screen, which is
her thing,
she was just so dialed into this movie and just wanted to watch. And we tried the whole flight basically to get her to sleep, and she would close her eyes, put her head on my shoulders, 5 seconds later pop up, look at the screen, and did that for probably like 75 times.
Oh no.
And this guy was just laughing, and finally he put up the on in-flight menu in front of, kind of holding it in front of her so she couldn't see it in front of us. And then she finally shut her eyes for a few minutes, but we were mostly already there. And I basically just said to him, like, sorry you had to, sit with the menu in front or whatever. And he's like, oh, it's all good. My oldest did the same thing. So
there you go.
That was reassuring. And she did so great, like didn't obviously disturb anyone at all. No issues. Thankfully our flights were all good. No huge delays or anything.
Yeah.
And we made it. And then, got to Vancouver. Beautiful weather on the first day. It was like 20 degrees and sunny.
Yeah. The photos looked incredible.
Amazing. So strapped the girl in the carrier and went to the Airbnb and went out for a nice walk and experienced the nice weather, which was so refreshing. And yeah, she slept in the carrier and that was kind of that. So honestly, the trip there, so smooth and very uneventful, which was great. When we got to the Airbnb, it was a 1-bedroom spot right downtown. But there was like a den, they call it, which is kind of like an office area, but it's quite small. Mm-hmm. Like there was a table and an office chair in there, but we had to move that out and put her playpen in there, and that's where she was going to sleep. And it was, we weren't exactly sure how that setup was going to go, because it felt like she was kind of, basically sleeping in a closet, but it had a door or whatever. So it was okay. But the first night took some consoling, but she finally got down and probably slept better than her parents, because we were what felt like a twin bed we were sleeping in, and no like there was like a kind of like a temporary AC unit in this condo, which is crazy. A lot of places in BC and even Alberta don't have like central air, which is kind of
that sounds weird to hear. That's kind of wild.
But yeah, super hot in there, so we weren't loving that. But girl slept good. That's all we could ask for, and it all worked out.
That's amazing. Did you guys have a long layover in Calgary?
No, it was just like a quick one. Basically, just ran to the
next gate and kept going.
Got a coffee and kept on moving.
That's fantastic. So everybody was learning the new way to travel.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's pretty awesome. Sweet. I didn't realize this when we got there to the Regina airport. I mean, there wasn't much going on, but the security just let us bypass the whole line and took us, and they just looked at her bag of, formula and everything. And we got through there so quick, and it was the same thing coming home from Vancouver. She's our little VIP pass, I guess.
Absolutely. So I've got a pro traveling tip for you. When you're, well, exactly. When you, so did you guys pre-check into your flight like 24 hours before, grab your seats?
Yeah.
So what you do, you probably know this, but what you do is this: you go on and you pick your seats, and you pick one of you in an aisle seat and one in a window, and they won't usually put someone in the middle, and you can a lot of times just have the whole row.
Yeah. And I mean, if they do throw someone in there, it's pretty
exactly. You just slide over.
You want the aisle or you want the window?
Yeah.
I did
that. That always worked.
We didn't do that, but we'll keep that in the old memory bank for next time.
Totally. Well, especially, since she's young and traveling for free, which, get those flights in now. Yeah.
The flight home, something happened with the check-in online, and we were in row 4, seats like C and D or something. Mm-hmm. And then it just like glitched out and moved one of us to like row 8.
Right.
So then, we got there, and the staff was just so great about it, and they fixed it right away and just moved some people or whatever. So again, it was just cool to, see that people are trying to help and
absolutely
make it as smooth as possible, which was,
it's really, it's nice when you're, doing it for the first time and you go, wait, they're all on my side,
Yeah.
That's great. That's amazing. That's amazing. I was so glad you guys made it there, and we're just ready for a great time.
Yeah, it was. We had the next day on Saturday, we were taking her to the Canucks game, which is obviously a highlight for me. Try and go to a game whenever we're in the area. And we were, steps away from the arena this time, staying right downtown, which was a pretty wild scene. Honestly, we were people watching out of our condo, out onto Abbott Street there. And, interesting views. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. It's a big city,
good and bad. You kind of got to mix it both, but pretty lively. Not what we're used to from Regtown here.
Yeah.
So that was another thing we weren't sure about, like the constant noise, and Scotty sleeping, but she gets the sound machine in there, she is KO'd for the night, which was nice. But Saturday hockey game, another thing, wasn't
That's
sure
a big day
how it was going to go. But super excited, and she had a pretty good morning nap, which was something that needed to happen in order to give us our best chance of having a successful day at the rink. And she had a good 90-minute nap, which was perfect. And our friends came in from Victoria. We had lunch and walked over to the game. It's a little different when you have Scotty with you, and typically I'd like to go a little early and watch warm-ups or grab a drink or some food. But this time we kind of pushed her as long as we could, and then went in, basically got there for the anthems and puck drop, and everything was smooth and went really well, and she was loving it. And pretty wild start to the game. We got there, kind of got settled in, got the stroller parking situation figured out, which I didn't realize was a thing, but that's pretty handy. Little valet service for the stroller. So I got to our seats right as the anthems were playing, and of course they were playing the Ducks, and Ducks score like minute 12 in, and pretty quiet arena, which was good, I guess, for the time being. But I thought for sure that this couldn't be not a great start, obviously, for the boys.
Exactly.
And
well,
they were
I was following the game, and I thought, here we go. That's all I thought.
Yeah, I think everyone in the building felt the same way. It was kind of nice to be surrounded by people that, obviously rooting for the same team you are. That's a rarity when you're, don't live where there's an NHL team. So, yeah. And the one thing I said, I know I said it to you, I just wanted them to be, kind of in the mix still at that point. So it wasn't a complete nothing game. And it was actually a hell of a game. Like I said, so Duck scored minute 12 in, and we're settled. We're in our seats. She's kind of vibing, looking around, still kind of like not sure of the environment because it's a lot. But
she's got her fun. Canucks jersey on.
She's got her Canucks jersey on.
Yes, she does. Right, the skate jersey. Yes, she does. Yes.
Because
she's awesome.
which was a great gift from our good friends. Something she'll have forever for sure. And probably means a lot more to me than it does her, but hopefully it'll mean something to her someday.
Well, you and Grandpa get it.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the game. I can't remember exactly what time of the game. I think it's about midway through, maybe like 14, 12 minutes left in the first period. Vancouver scores. So, the Elias Pettersson, defenseman, DPD, scored his first as a Canuck, which was cool, and the building erupted, obviously. And, such a cool, I just love their goal song. I know there was a lot made about that last year. Do you know what it is?
I don't even know. For this year, I don't even know. I'm not sure.
You'll know it as soon as I say it, but the part of the song they used, it's "Don't You Forget About Me."
Oh yes, yeah. I know exactly where you're going now.
But the like la 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 la,
yeah,
la 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 la. It's just it's electric, especially in the building. So they played that. We heard it for the first time. Scotty's not quite sure about that. Didn't like it. A lot of excitement and noise. She had her headphones on, but obviously there's a lot going on still. So she was a little overwhelmed. So we got through that. She settled. And about I don't know what it was, 45 seconds later.
Seconds, yeah.
Another one. So we got 2 goals. She's not happy. We're doing everything we can. We got a bottle going. She kind of gets a little bit settled in. Another one, 3. And they ended up scoring 5 in like 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And it was just like, I felt bad for her after the third one because it was just like so much, so quick. Yeah. And so once they scored the 5th one, I said, okay, that's you. We saw basically an entire game worth of goals. Yeah. So let's go down and go for a walk where it's a little quieter. So we went down and it was funny. There were so many moms and dads with their kids doing the same thing at the same time because everyone's just like so overstimulated and need to get away from the chaos upstairs. So
the adults were overstimulated in that situation. Let's be honest.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That was stunning.
That was crazy. Yeah. Never been to a live game with that much excitement all at once.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's insanity.
We went down, had a bottle. We actually sat in those lockers they have on the concourse there. I think we sat in Trevor Linden's little locker and had a bottle, which was a cool moment. Got a cool picture there. And the staff and the police that were at the game, they came up and were talking to her and making sure everything was all good. So again, it just felt
that's amazing.
People had your back, which was cool. And and then we ended up watching the rest of the game from our seats, and she slept through the entire third period, which was incredible. Yeah. It was a cool moment being there. Third period, Canucks were up 6-2 at that time, and got my baby girl sleeping on me, and cold Coors Light in my left hand. Yeah. Watching a hockey game. So
that's picturesque.
Super cool moment.
That's crazy.
One that I'll remember forever, of course.
Yeah.
But
it was history. It was historic in the 5 goals that they scored. So she's going to grow up thinking the Canucks just score 5 goals that fast all the time.
I guess so. Yeah.
That's amazing. I remember when you guys were at the game, not to interrupt you, but when you guys were at the game, we were out doing something and I was checking the score on my phone and then it was 1-1. And I was like, oh, they got one. This is great. And then it wasn't long after that. Obviously, you were there. I checked my phone again and it was 3-1. And I was like, okay, there's something wrong with the sports app because, there's no way. So I go out and I'm like, okay, we'll go back in. And then I go back in and then it's 5-1. And I'm like, okay, there's really something wrong with this app. And I had no idea what was actually going on, but I was like, something's completely wrong with how they're updating this score.
Yeah.
And it was like legit.
Yeah, no, it did. It did feel like something was broken even being at the game because it was, insane.
That's
I
nuts.
Love it. It was a lot of fun, but.
Well, what a memory. Like you'll remember that game forever because she was there.
Yeah.
But you'll also remember because of that, the goals. Like that's going to be, date is marked in history with the team now.
Yeah. I hope to, watch the highlights with her and can show her, okay, this is where you started to freak out and we had to.
We had to do a lap.
Yeah.
So we went and sat in Trevor Linden's locker and got some photos. Here's the photo of that.
Yeah.
That's
Connor
brilliant.
Garland,
what a memory.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. And obviously, like I said, going to take that one with me forever.
Oh yeah. Well, that's moments as a parent that are huge, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But I was surprised at how, I guess, like easy not easy, but smooth everything went. I think we just got super lucky with how everything transpired, but and you guys, your energy and just everything, there's a lot more that goes into it, but then you're right. You got people that care and other people that are parents that are around and you go, hey, they get it. They see that, this might be our first time doing this and they want to help. They want you to have a good experience. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, Canucks got the win 6-2. She slept the entire third period. So after the game was over, she was ready to go. So we,
ready to hit the clubs with Uncle Dylan.
We did hit the clubs. We hit no, we didn't do that, but we did hit the clubs. We hit the Cactus Club.
Oh, nice. Oh my God. I know the place isn't that? Yes. I love that place.
Absolute staple in our household. We got to go whenever we're near one.
Yeah.
Which is
just down the block, isn't it?
It's a treat. Yeah, it was pretty close. We hopped on the train just to eliminate some walking, but we had a nice dinner with our friends after the game, and Scotty was getting a little wanted to, I think, get moving and sick of being held or whatever. So we did a couple laps around the Cactus Club while everyone finished up dinner. And again, just looking, there was funny with sitting on, I went to kind of the back area with Scotty, take her for a little walk to calm her down or get her settled. And she likes to cruise around like most babies do. And I was just like kind of rocking her and dancing and talking to her. And then I look across the entire restaurant. There's a mom with a baby in the carrier doing the exact same thing. And we kind of made eye contact. And then we ended up packing up shortly after that. And so did they, because their little one was not having fun. But
there you go. You're all in the club. You're all in the same club.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is. It is a club in some ways.
The dad club.
Yeah. The parents club.
Yeah, I love it.
Just
that's amazing.
Grinding. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. And had a couple beers and did some just hanging out, watched a couple live performances on YouTube with our friends afterwards, and had a nice night. So
great. Good for you guys.
It was perfect, man. Yeah.
No kidding. Yeah, it sounded like it from the messages at the end of the day. I was just smiling, just knowing that you guys were all good and having fun, and it was an amazing, amazing day. Yeah, I was the happiest just sitting here, smiling ear to ear going, they're good.
Oh yeah.
It's the best.
So much fun.
Yeah.
It'll be even better when she's a little older and can really, experience all of this and do things. But we did a lot because the next day we met our friends again. We went walking in the rain. It was raining. Walked to a good ramen spot a few blocks away and had some ramen. And then we walked around and did some little bit of shopping and tried to stay out of the rain and ended up going back to our place and just having kind of a quiet night until about 6:30. And then I picked up a last minute ticket to the Canucks game on Sunday night and went put Scotty to bed and walked over to the rink. It was pretty cool, actually. I've never done
perfect.
That, but yeah.
When you messaged me, I was like, what? Like you're just going to the game, and I was like, oh, okay, well the girls are comfy. Okay, well you're going to the game, and I was like, wait, I want to be at the game with you. I want to go see. Was it the Rangers?
Vegas.
Vegas. I was like, I want to go see the Vegas game with you. I'd like to sit there, but I was like, no. This is you. You deserve this time. You get to hang out now and just do your thing, right?
It wasn't even part of the plan, but we were staying so close and didn't realize how close until we actually got there. And yeah, Sunday night just saw how the day went, and Scotty was in bed by 7-ish, and puck drop was at 7. So Jess was
things just
diving into a book and wanted to have a quiet night. So yeah, I was going to watch the game on TV, so I just walked across the street and watched it live. Which was cool. And yeah, the coolest thing about that was got this ticket last minute and get to my seat, and it's kind of like in the middle of the row, and there's a ton of people, but there's like 4 seats kind of near the aisle. So I was just like, is anyone sitting here? Do you know? Like, I'll just sit here till someone comes, and then I'll move to my seat instead of disturbing everyone. Mm-hmm. And then once I got seated, there was this dad and his young boy that showed up, and I was actually in one of their seats, but they're like, oh, it's all good, we'll just sit here, there's lots. And yeah, it was funny. It seemed like, I don't know how old this guy was, but probably similar in age, and he was there with his 1-year-old, and 1-year-old wasn't loving the noise, and they got there shortly after a goal too. So I was like, oh my god, I gotta say, like,
I just lived this yesterday.
Yeah, I was like, I literally just did this with my 8-month-old yesterday. So yeah, we got to talking.
Wow.
And tried to make his boy feel comfortable, and I ended up chatting with both of them through the whole game, and another cool moment. I was just like,
this is what you do when you're in the dad club.
And I guess so. Yeah.
You got your card, and now you just pass along information.
That's right.
You got experience, my man.
Yeah. No, it was a lot of fun.
That's amazing.
Though. It was Canucks needed that win too. It would have been nice if they would have got it, and it was a close game 2-2, and then Vegas put them away late in the third.
They were battling. They were trying.
But yeah, again, super cool. That was fun. And then Monday,
2 in a row. Monday
we went to the aquarium, which was a big one we wanted to do, and we've been there before, Jess and I, and just had a blast, and thought, I don't know if Scotty would even like it, but she got a kick out of the seals and the otters, and we spent a few hours there and walked through Stanley Park in the rain. It was
that's picturesque. Awesome. Like, Vancouver's such a great city to do that in, though.
Yeah,
like, I've always loved Vancouver for many reasons, but when you stay there and you get to like walk around and take in like Granville and all the cool areas and the history of stuff, it's the best.
Yeah,
it's absolutely the best.
We got probably the two of their best days in the spring too, the Friday, Saturday, and of course, Saturday we were in a arena all day, but it was still nice to feel that sunshine. And yeah, what a beautiful place. Even when it's raining, it's not like super windy, which is something we're dealing with a lot. So I enjoyed it. And like I said, just had a blast with my girls.
What a great family experience for the first trip for you guys. That's incredible.
Yeah. And I guess I forgot to mention, but on Sunday, Ovechkin was playing the Caps were playing the Islanders, and he was at 894, 1 away from the record. Yeah. And I'll never forget that. I was about 11 a.m. in Vancouver in our Airbnb while Scotty was napping that we saw that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I text you because we saw it in real time as well.
Yeah, we were following it.
Holy.
Yeah,
big event.
What a cool moment that was, eh?
No kidding. Yeah, it was just it's so close, and you it's going to happen, right? And you're just waiting, and every moment he's on the ice, and he plants himself just at the top of that circle, and you go, well, if it comes over, and he just buried that. Like, it was such a great shot too, right?
Yeah, such a good goal. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, the guy's a machine. So yeah, you're rooting for him to and now he ties it, and you're like, here we go. Like, this is real. And Wayne's in the building. His family's there. Like, it's, high alert now. Like, 5 goals away was alert. Now it's hyper alert.
Yeah. Yeah. I was wondering, how it must have been when he broke Gordie Howe's record. And I think it's obviously not to the same scale as what this was, just with,
right.
The state of the game and everything like that. And I think Gretzky broke it at 8:02, and he went on to score almost 100 more goals after that.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
And didn't they wasn't it almost the same amount of games they did it in?
Ovi did it in one more game. So he's got
one more game.
In one more game. Yeah. Okay. So he did it at 895 in
which that's wild to me too. When I saw that, I was like, holy. Yeah. Sorry, say those numbers again.
Gretzky did 894 in 1,487 games, and then Ovi did 895 in 1,488 games.
Jeez.
Which is crazy how that lined up like that.
I know.
I think it was against I don't know if Gretzky broke it against the Islanders or tied it against the Islanders. There was some connection in there too that was kind of wild.
I can't remember. There was such a heat. There was a battle between the Oilers and the Islanders back then. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember the exact goal. I remember the hype, and I remember, it happening. There was a ceremony, and Gordie Howe was there, and it was very cordial. And, the whole thing was unbelievable. But I don't remember the exact sort of date or any sort of specifics on it. It was a very long time ago, but it just seemed wild.
Yeah. 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 It's crazy that sports are funny that way. It's almost like you couldn't write it, or if you did write it, no one would
believe it.
Yeah. That was a
exactly
real thing. I know in 2016 I saw an interview he did with Elliot Friedman, and it's getting a lot of playback obviously this week, but he asked him straight up, do you think you'll ever be able to break this record? And he said, no one's going to ever be able to touch that. It's just impossible with the way the game is.
Yeah. Absolutely. I saw the same thing. That was crazy.
He went on to say, if I did break that, I would just be done. I would just retire. So I think they're talking about that on Chicklets this week, that I think obviously he's changed his mind. He'll be back for at least one more year. And if he puts up another, 30, 40 goals next year, I don't know why you'd stop.
And he's playing like a beast, right?
I guess if they won it this year, that would probably be a good reason to go out on top. But man, he does not seem to be
letting up.
Down.
No, and his energy, everything. So I saw this picture. I'm going to try to show this. I don't know if it'll come across on the screen, but it was a picture of Wayne Gretzky on the day that Ovechkin was drafted.
Yeah,
and it said under Gretzky's name, 894 goals, 0 goals under Ovechkin. Yeah. And then the bottom one is 895, 894. But I don't know if the resolution. Maybe not.
I'll pull it up on the.
Yeah, that's incredible. It just blew my mind. I was like, man, and they, Gretzky wanted him to get it. Yeah. And what was the lineage on the goals? Gordie Howe beat Maurice Richard. Is that what it was?
You know what? I'm not even.
I think it was sure. Maurice Richard had the record, and Gordie Howe beat that record. Then Wayne Gretzky beat Gordie Howe, and now Ovechkin beat Gretzky. I think that's how it sort of worked for the last 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Which was wild, just hearing all those names and going, whoa.
Yeah. It's been a while since there's been anyone other than a Canadian holding that title.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's going to. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah,
See if anyone
that's
comes
a
close.
tall task, right?
In 20 more years, we can break it down again.
Exactly. And I don't know that I don't think, but years ago I did say no one's going to touch Gretzky's goal record, but I don't think anybody will touch Gretzky's point record.
No, it's
like, I think that one is sort of cemented in its own thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Like that's a pretty hefty thing. So that's why, yeah, what an experience for you guys. Like, what a hockey day as all that's going on. You know, you guys are on a family trip. She's going to her first NHL game, everything going on. The history is being set by the Canucks with the 5 goals. Ovechkin's tied the thing. It's like, man, that's overwhelming.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. And yeah, hockey was a big part of that weekend. But yeah, incredible time with
family and sports, right? Just tying it all together. Just,
yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah, no, it's fun, and it's fun diving back into it with you. We got a ton of. We're still reflecting, obviously, back to work this week and stuff. But yeah, that was a fun one for sure. We'll remember that one forever.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see you guys and see all the photos from the trip.
Yeah, there's be a lot to share.
Oh yeah.
So, what have you been up to this last week? You've been busy with some work stuff.
I haven't
driving
been
that teenager around, or what?
I haven't been traveling to NHL games, but the teenager is a little mad because his little niece, who's 8 months old, has seen an NHL game before he has.
Wow!
So he's a little. He's at first, when it came up. He was a little choked, and I didn't realize. Yeah, I was like, okay, whatever, that's fine. But then he brought it up again today, and I was like, oh, this is still weighing on your mind.
Oh man.
So yeah, he was trying to get us to like go to Edmonton or Winnipeg to see,
I think see a game. To more MLB.
Yeah, exactly.
Than me. So
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So. It's kind of funny, but yeah, driving him around. His hockey season finished, and now he's in this 4-on-4 league, and baseball practices have started, and all that's going on. In the last couple of weeks, I haven't played music in a while in a band, but the last couple of weeks I've had like 3 gigs, road trips. I've been to Moose Jaw, I've been to Yorkton last night, overpacked for my trip, just so you know. And last Thursday I had a real cool gig in town with a good friend, Jess Moskaluk, for the Canadian Red Cross, which was all 3 gigs were different from each other, but all equally fun with great people playing music.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that refreshing for you to get back out there? Like, I know you've done it for your whole life, right? Like, obviously you gotta love it to continue to do it, but is it, I don't know. Does it like recharge you at all? Do you find?
Absolutely.
Or is it more like
drag
kind of do it?
No, it's not a drag at all. No, I love it. I love when we in our household, and I think you know this. I think you've seen this, but we function a bit better when we're busy. If we sit around, we don't really sit around. So when we're busy and there's lots going on, we can focus a little more. There's just that going on. So when I have gigs that come up, and I'm playing shows with artists, like the first one last week in Moose Jaw was with JJ Voss. And I think I played with him, I can't remember how many months ago. It was quite a while ago. But, just getting all the tunes together, any new material, any changes in set lists and stuff, that's very, very exciting for me. And you show up and, you're going to play this thing. And I still love it. Like, I love it like the first time I played in a band live when I was like 14. It still kind of resonates that way. So it was great. And then last night's gig in Yorkton with a band called the Kelly Brothers, and I played with them about 4 months ago. I think was our last show, and it was a fun thing in Yorkton. Yeah, no, it's just fun getting all that together and going out and playing, and going out and just playing music with other human beings. There's nothing like it. Connecting with the audience. And then
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I and then the one last week, the one last Thursday was a little different because I haven't played. So it was with Jess Moskaluk, which I've known Jess since she was 15, I believe, way back in the day when she won a radio contest in Yorkton. And I hadn't played with her in a very long time, but I saw her about a month ago, Aaron. We were playing in Lac La Biche, Alberta, and we played a show with her. And I've always, really loved Jess. She's great, and her family's great, and her husband. And I know like there's a connection beyond just playing music, but it was pretty fun getting asked to do this event because it was just an acoustic event. So it was a guitar player, a friend of mine from town that plays with her, myself and her. And it was sort of unique in the approach. And it was for the Canadian Red Cross. And it was on the stage at Connexus Arts Center, which is the Center of the Arts, which I've seen so many amazing bands play from my first concert that we've talked about on one episode, Street Art, and seeing Prince and so many amazing shows. And, you know, it was just kind of a fun night. It was cool.
Wow. Yeah, no,
super cool.
Super cool, especially when you kind of unpack that and, you know, when you're up there reflecting on being on the other side in the audience and thinking about all the cool moments that you've experienced in that building. So, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Man. Yeah, it was wild setting up in the afternoon.
Pretty cool how, like, I imagine the fact that you get to play with a lot of different people and you know, make connections throughout the country, basically.
Yeah.
That's got to be, you know, refreshing too, because it's never the same, and you're always, you know, working with great people, I imagine, and I'm really lucky on that side that I get to really work with, you know, great humans that are great musicians playing, and but yeah, no, it's really cool to play, you know, something like that, like Jess's gig. Like an example of how that worked is, you know, we learned 17 songs, wrote the songs out. We don't rehearse. So we got together that afternoon, set up, played about 4 songs at sound check. Everything was fine. Played through a new single coming out, talked about how the show was going to go. And then everybody just kind of left. I had to pick Coop up from school and run him to a baseball practice. We come back to play the show in front of all these people. And it was, I don't know how many people were at the event, about 600 people. It was $1,000 a plate. Like it was for the Canadian, like it was a big deal. Luke Mullender used to play for the Riders, was the host. So it was a very, you know, high class sort of thing. Everybody's dressed up and everything. So you're going to play music. Like last year was Rain Maida from Our Lady Peace, and his wife Chantal Kreviachik played last year. 2 years ago, it was Stephen Page from the Bare Naked Ladies. You know, so it's like, oh man, the precedent's been set that this is sort of like a, you know, a thing. Right. Yeah. And, you know, we played 4 songs in the afternoon. So the bulk of the songs we haven't actually played together live in front of people, and we count them in and we're playing them. But we've all played music so much that we just kind of know how that works. And not everybody's job sort of functions that way. Like, it's kind of weird. I was always fascinated by that, because that process you've explained there, I kind of always got the sense that that's how most of the job was. It wasn't a ton of, obviously there's rehearsals for some gigs and stuff like that, but a lot of the times you're kind of just picking stuff up and relying on your craft and years of experience to kind of get you through. So no, that's incredible insight right there. Like,
and the self prep is key. Like I learned that years ago, that the self prep you put in is key to sort of like, you know, not fooling the audience, but playing in a way that they never would know you've never played this song with these humans before. You know, and there's been so many situations that I've been in where that's happened. And after a while, you just kind of, it doesn't become normal, but it becomes like a little more like usual how it sort of works. So it's kind of fun. So at that event, usually people leave as the music's going on because it's wrapped up and stuff and whatever. And this time everybody stuck around. By the end, they were dancing. They've never had people like up dancing. So they were kind of like, we don't know what to do. Like, this is kind of crazy. And then the last song she played, we did her song Cheap Wine and Cigarettes, which I was very, very lucky to play on her record we recorded in 2012 with that song on it, which is almost double platinum now, which is kind of nutty. And the crowd's freaking out. Like, they're just freaking out and singing and everything. And I'm just, and you know, I'm sitting there playing and watching her sing, which the last time we played this song together was, maybe there was one gig after we recorded, but the studio, you know, so many years ago, and just sitting there and just kind of going, this is like I can't believe I'm sitting here. I get to play drums. Like, I'm just sitting here playing drums. These people are dancing and they're singing and they're having a great time. And I'm like, we've totally taken them out of their everyday sort of whatever it is. And now they get to like, just have fun for a little while.
Yeah.
That's the part of doing what I do that absolutely, like, I don't think I'll ever like understand that and ever like not, you know, I'll never ever take that for granted ever.
Yeah.
So it was really fun. That was a really fun night. And we had a lot of fun hanging out, and we were laughing, and the guitar player had a kidney stone. So he was in a bunch of pain, but no one knew that. But there were some funny stories with it. There was all these things that were just like, it was a really fun night. And I remember driving home afterwards, and I just felt so like full and complete from just getting to play music with really great people. Like I think that's the best.
That's got to be the most fulfilling part of your job, right?
100% it is. 100%. And teaching and all the stuff that goes on is amazing. But those were the things from those gigs, the takeaways that were really unbelievable.
That's awesome. On the flip side of this, I always was curious, just as a kind of an outsider, when you get a gig, then it's just going to happen inevitably. But if the vibe is different and the crowd, isn't as into it, like, how are those harder for you, or do you find that, you can still get up for it because you're still playing music?
It's tricky, but playing drums, like I think that affects the people at the front of the stage a little more, the singer and stuff. And we're all like, on stage, you have your 16 square feet of what you got to take care of, and whatever else happens out there, you don't have a real say in how they perceive it, or, if you do your job, they'll do what they do. Sometimes it's a battle, but at the end of the day, you go, well, we're up here just making some noise, and, we're going to organize it the best we can for them to have fun.
Yeah.
And if they choose to, great. If they don't choose to, well,
yeah,
we're still playing. And
I'd be interested to talk to, like a front man for a band, and how that might affect, because you're right. Like, thinking about it now as a drummer, you're kind of, you're back there. You're not exactly seeing the faces or seeing any sort of interaction up close, and maybe not feeding off that as much. But I always wondered how I would do in that situation if it wasn't going exactly how I thought it should be, how you wanted it to be. Yeah. Sometimes the front person, the singer, it can really, really affect them. Right. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because everybody in the band has a different role. Like on a sports team, everybody's got their sort of thing they do, and it all just has to sort of line up. And there's a lot of things too. Like if something's not going well, there's things I can do to help the singer, like maybe get into more what's going on stage than, and kind of like ignore the audience and go, okay, well, we're having fun up here, so it's totally fine, Right. And there's just sort of like little, like psychological things that you work over the years that you go, okay, well, this guy's had a terrible day, but I can smile at him a bit more, and we can goof around a little bit, and I can sort of remove him from that for the time being of playing the music, and, all those little things that can come into play. But you only figure that out on the job as you're doing the job, and you've had that experience, and you go, oh, okay, I've seen this one before. Yeah.
No,
that's super
it's kind of wild.
Yeah.
I never think about that side until someone brings it up, and I'm like,
right.
Oh yeah.
All these little things that go into it.
Exactly. It's just normal. Like you just go, I don't know. You just learn a bunch of songs and you go play them, and, you play them like there's no tomorrow, and the crowd, has fun, and it's great.
Yeah. Oh man. But no, it's so good. I'm obviously happy that you got out and play some gigs. It's funny you mentioned there leaving the sound check to go run your run my brother to his baseball practice. It's kind of funny.
It's funny. Well, two of us left the sound check, and Justin, the guitar player who has the kidney stone, had to pick his kids up from school and get them home. I had to pick Coop up, get him home, feed him, get him to ball practice just out of town, come back home, change, get to the gig. And there was all these moving parts, but I was loving it. Like it wasn't stressing me out at all. I wasn't like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to make it. And I'm, whatever. It's like, oh no, we're just going to make this work. And then you get there in time and you're like, I did it. Yes.
Yeah. No,
and then you have a great night playing. It's a ton of fun.
Chalk that one up as a win for yourself there. Sounds like.
Oh, absolutely.
That's great.
Yep. So that was you went to Vancouver and did that, and I just, floundered around playing some drums.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a blast doing it too.
So I absolutely love it. There's nothing else I would rather do.
That's unreal, man. Love hearing you talk about that and feeling your passion. I mean, I know a lot of people we'll get that from you, and hopefully we can, keep diving into obviously your work life, because it's a pretty, front of mind thing, and it's very unique, and then how you're balancing that, and have balanced that for
and with you guys
years as a father, right?
Well, you guys saw it firsthand when you were little, so I don't get to do this if you guys, aren't you guys. It's a true story. I remember that every day as well.
I like that.
Yes. Can't wait to take Scotty to her first sound check.
Yeah. Well, she'll be ready to go. By the
she'll learn to set up the drums. Before she'll be able to write.
She might be. She might have a little voice on her. I feel like she likes to.
She'll be an entertainer. I'll tell you that.
She's a little shy, but she's quite the entertainer.
Yeah.
At home, so
I love it. Yeah. I love it.
Well, we covered a lot there. That was
no kidding. I went on a tangent.
No, that's good, man.
When people get me talking about music, time just like races by.
Yeah, I want to get you talking about music more, because it's super interesting, and yeah. Have you? What are you listening to? You got any good spring music you're listening to?
You know what? It was funny today, driving back from this gig last night. The bass player in this band, the Kelly Brothers, my friend Brian Kelly, always. I know all the time he's going to ask me, "Hey, what are you listening to? What's new?" And I always fail to go. I got something here. I've
something good. Yeah.
Well, I have so many, with teaching, I have so many songs that I work on with students, and that's the bulk of what I listen to, because that's just sort of the day-to-day thing.
Yeah.
But there's been a couple things lately that I have here in a playlist that have been kind of cool. Where was it now that I played today? I was listening to some older stuff that was interesting. There was a singer from New Orleans. His name's Marc Broussard. There's an old album from 2004. Absolutely incredible. It's amazing. There was a new Lainey Wilson song actually that I heard today called Bell Bottoms Up. Have you heard that song yet?
Lainey Wilson? No, I haven't.
It's a country thing. It's a pretty cool song. I really dug it.
As the weather turns here, it's starting to feel more like a country vibe.
Yeah, totally. Right. That affects so many things. So yeah, there's all kinds of I use Shazam a lot.
Yeah.
So if I'm out somewhere and I hear something cool, like last week, I think I was in a coffee shop, and I think I was at a store, and I heard something, and it just sort of emotionally at that moment, it kind of grabs you and you go, "Ooh, this is kind of cool." And then you hit the thing and you go, "Maybe I'll remember this. I'll go back and, have a better listen." Right. So I do that lots. And then usually every Friday I'll try to go back through my Shazam and then go look at the new music that gets released that day. But nothing really specific, but I'm waiting for something. There'll be a good album that'll come out that will be like a summertime sort of
I find it
smasher where you get.
It's almost like just rediscovering music at a different point in your life too. It's
totally
fun that way. It doesn't have to necessarily be new, but I'm just curious. I'm always
and it's different when you play it. You're around it so often that a lot of times I don't even listen. A lot of times I don't have the radio on in the vehicle, or I'll have sports on, or I'll have just a talk show, just some comedy or something where it's, not to shut it off, but you're around it so much. Right.
Right.
But I miss that because it's fun when you talk to people and it's like, they share something new and you go, "Oh, I got to check that out." And students do that all the time. It's amazing with students that are all different ages. You go, "Who's that? I've never heard of that before." And then it blows your
probably
mind.
Overwhelmed a lot with
it
what
can
they're
be
bringing in. And
oh yeah, absolutely. It totally can be.
Yeah, no, that's super interesting. Obviously, I realized that you're not a massive music listener outside of that. You have a lot of, sports or talk shows on, and never put that into my head that, hey, maybe he's sick of listening to, he's logged 140 hours of listening to music this week. Maybe
exactly. Maybe his brain's kind of soupy on that now.
Yeah.
And playing but it's good. It's important to balance that all out for everybody, right?
But summertime. So when the sun comes out, I get a little craving for some country music.
Yeah, when the sun stays up later, right? Like,
yeah.
as it's a little later in the evening and stuff, and it sure lends itself to that, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it does. Yeah.
I hear you. I heard there was a newer, it was, oh my goodness, who was it? I got to look it up again now. Now I just blanked on it. It was a song I just played it today. It was a newer song by, and these guys, you got a bit of a connection to them. It was an Old Dominion tune. That I just heard. That was really kind of cool. You guys kind of like them, hey?
Yeah, I've seen them a number of times.
Yeah,
fun.
Exactly.
Fun show, and yeah, proposed to my wife. Listen to one of their songs.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, they're cool. They got a really cool sound, and very like you say, when I hear him sing and hear their music, it sets like sort of a scene in your mind.
Yeah.
Right. Like again, like a sunset sort of nice summer evening.
Yep.
Sort
100%.
of, so yeah, that's one thing that I did hear today was an Old Dominion song.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah. I always just go back and play, like Meat and Candy and those ones from them. Those are,
Snapback.
I got a couple of my faves for sure.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Cool. So go ahead.
No.
I was just
I'll let you go because I think you're going to ask the same question.
Just over the last, obviously week, and then our travel adventures kind of opened my eyes up to some pretty good things that I saw in humanity this week. So just wanted to obviously share those, and I think we touched on it, just being a parent and traveling and going to certain events and things like that, and being uncertain and nervous for how it's going to go, and making sure that everyone's all good during whatever it is you're doing. But I saw a lot of people, and I found myself feeling that a lot of people had, our backs. So just wanted to shout out, obviously the airline staff, everyone from the flight attendants, security guys. I know it can be an absolute headache traveling in today's world. Thankfully, our experience was great, and a lot of that had to do with people going out of their way to make sure that we had everything that we needed, and made sure that our baby girl was safe and as comfortable as possible. So yeah, there's a lot of cool moments this week where I just felt myself, getting my faith in humanity restored a little bit, and so yeah, shout out the good people of Regina, Calgary, and Vancouver for making one hell of a weekend for our family.
Absolutely. No, that's amazing. It's amazing at the airports when you're traveling and all the circumstance and the chaos and all the things, and people could snap and lose their mind, and somehow like the employees just seem to like keep it all together and roll with it. And they can make everybody feel like, even though people could be like yelling at them and like completely freaking out. And it's like, what a job. Yeah. Like what a thankless gig at like 6 a.m. when, you have nothing to do with this flight that got canceled. And all of a sudden it becomes your problem because, and they can smooth it over, or just like make an 8-month-old. Yeah. Make an 8-month-old comfortable on her first flight, because they know that this is, a big deal for her family forever.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, the people at the airport, it's, I don't know, just witnessing how, people behave, and sometimes it's warranted, and, traveling can be super stressful for anyone, but they're like, their first interaction with a lot of these people is always negative. But, from what I've seen and experienced firsthand, there's some really good people working in that industry, and again, can't thank them enough for making our short little trip there smooth, and hopefully this little rant here might get me some karma points for our next one when things might not go as smoothly, because
it's always going to go great. It's always going to go great as long as you pack 20 pairs of underwear for 4 days.
Yeah,
It's
no,
going to
we're
be
not
it's
doing
going to be
that.
amazing. The thing about the airport, just one note on that's amazing about Regina Airport is, I've traveled so much in the last years and years and years playing, and the staff there has always been incredible. They've always been amazing. And there's lots of the staff that's there that were there pre like 2020. Right. Okay. Just knowing, from traveling so much then and now and seeing that and going, wow, they still work there, when a time where there was cutbacks and all these things, and they're still at the airport, and that's a commendable, and they're amazing. They're amazing. Like, they just get every part of that whole thing, right? So I'm so glad it was a great experience for you guys.
Yeah, no, me too.
The best.
Me too, man. But yeah, that's a couple weeks in the lives of Jay and Tice. It was a busy one, and
that's a lot you had going on.
We got a talking baby now, which is gonna make things even more fun as we move forward.
That is going to be unreal. And the video from the other day, not to keep going, but the video from the other day, she's gonna stand up soon.
Oh, she is. She's standing up like while holding us or whatever. So, yeah.
My goodness! Now it's like moving at lightning speed.
Yeah, it is. It's
fast. I missed that little girl with her little cheeks. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. She'll be moving on her 2 feet soon enough. And crazy. It all happens so fast. Oh
yes. Well, I said to you a long time ago, yeah, absolutely. And that's why you do stuff like this, right? Like nothing will replace a family experience.
Yeah.
Because you'll always have the stories and the pictures and everything.
100%.
I love it.
Well, should we get out of here?
We should probably get out of here. Yeah. Let the people get back to their day and do their thing, and, go listen to some new music and plan a holiday with the family.
That sounds great. Yeah. We're already planning our next one in the summer here. So.
Of course.
Yeah. All right, everyone. This has been episode 12 of the BrinkCast. Thanks for listening. Give us a follow on TikTok and YouTube. Throw a couple comments in there if you'd like. Let us know, your experiences with travel and parenting. Would love to hear from you, of course. And we'll see you for episode 13 next time.
Later.
Cheers, everyone.